And welcome to another ETBU Sportsnet Coaches Show segment. I'm Kenneth the K-Rock Klein, and we're joined this time by the head volleyball coach here at ETBU, Keely Peterson. Coach Peterson, you had 3 matches last week, came away with 2 wins, so let's start off with the Belhaven game. It took you 5 sets, but obviously with Belhaven, you never really know what you were going to get, and obviously you got another 5-set game out of that. So just from your coaching perspective, just kind of what was it about that game that sort of stood out to you in that moment?
Well, like you said, you never really know what you're going to get with Belhaven. Coach D over there, he does really great things with those girls, and he knows how to get the most from them. And if you ever come watch that game, you'll see that he's very animated, and he gets his girls going, and so they play out of their minds for him, and it's just so much fun to watch him. And those girls did. They came in and they played really hard, and they did well. We needed to do a little better on limiting our errors a little bit, and we were coming out of a funk. You know, we're on a little bit of a losing streak, and we were able to break that evening. And we were just really proud with our fight and our determination to push through and finish.
Now, this past Saturday, you took on Louisiana College, and you know, it was obviously senior day, even though there's one more home game left. You had 5 seniors being honored, or I should say technically 4, but there was a 5th one in Annalie Coburn who's graduating early, like we talked about last week, because she has her associate's degree and all. So when you're playing a game like that on senior day, is there always like that will and determination for you to come out on top just to pay your seniors tribute the right way?
Definitely. The girls always want to win out for their seniors and show how much, they really appreciate them. And, we should every game be giving our all, and we do, but there's always this extra amount of momentum you have on senior night. So, it was really just nice to see how our girls came together and played. With Louisiana College, we were a little not sure what to expect because they had a girl become eligible after we played them last time, and she's just been really wrecking shop. I mean, she went and played. They're outside. She's from, I believe, Puerto Rico, I think. But she, at Laterno the evening before, she hit almost 700 and had 18 kills. And the next match against the University of Dallas, she had 19 kills and she hit about 500. So coming in, we knew, guys, y'all got to be aware. They've got this new athlete on the outside, and we haven't seen her play before, so just know that, it's going to look a little different than it did in the past. And I was just really impressed with our girls and how they really adapted to that. And, it was a little shaky in the first set. It was a little closer than we would have liked, but they did a really good job of shutting her down. And I believe since she's been playing, since she's become eligible, she has not hit below, I believe, 200. And we held her to a negative hitting percentage. So I was just really impressed with Alexis Contos. She did a really good job of really listening to us and really focusing on her block, and she completely took her their outside out of the game. And I was just really impressed with how she really stepped that up. And blocking has been an area for Lexi that she's kind of been hit and miss, and she's worked really hard on it in practice. So I was really impressed with how she put that together, and she really brought a lot of momentum to the game. And all of the seniors, all 5 of them, they played really well. So I was just really impressed with it.
Definitely, the seniors, of course, going out on the right note. The one thing that I will say I've been very impressed with your team is that there's always seems to be a depth situation for ETBU. It's always like, okay, you might be losing one player, but you got another player going. Like, for example, when you first got here, it was Kayla Green, and then it was Elise Shaw who's kind of taken over on your assists. You now have another player in Cassidy Zelmer who's kind of been racking up the assists as well. So when you're talking about players on your team that have really kind of stepped up whenever players leave or graduate, what does that do as far as the confidence of the team as for the years to come?
Well, I think we've done really well, especially in the setting aspect. We've had 2 young setters for the past 2 years that have really just been taken under the wing of Elise and really learn the game from her. That's one thing that Elise has done really well is she's a gamer. She's thinking game, and she's always got some strategy going out there. And we talk a lot about right now you've got this big block over here, make sure we're moving things this way. And she's really good at understanding the setting strategy and how to run an offense. And that's something that she's really kind of relayed down to Meredith Augsburger and to Cassidy Zelmer. So honestly, as much as we're going to miss having Elise, she's done such a great job working with these younger setters that I really don't think we're going to skip too much of a beat, because they've had such a great opportunity to be underneath her and learn that. And we've been able to use both of them in such an aspect that they're really not going to skip a beat. And you know, obviously we're going to bring in another setter, just so that way we're ready to go. And you know, if we have an injury, we're ready. But you know, I'm very confident in those two, and that they've learned the ropes. They've both seen, you know, a lot of game time, and it's been really great. I'll say Meredith, she does a really good job of running our offense. And then Cassidy, she's just a go-getter. She gets out there and she's not only looking for ways to help our hitters score, but she's going to score too. So she has a really high points earned ratio. If you look at her statistics, if she's not leading or helping and leading with assist, then she's fine, like helping and leading with attack. I think in every game she's played, she's had a positive or I think above 200 hitting percentage, which is rare for a setter to have such a great hitting percentage. And it's just that she's always attacking for either a dump or she'll swing at the second ball, and it's been fun to really see that.
All right, so this week, ASC crossover meet again, as you are going to Tyler this time, taking on 3 schools, Howard Payne, Concordia, and UMHB. Now, the American Southwest Conference Tournament, I believe, will be hosted by a Western Division school this year, and looking at the standings, it appears that that would be in UMHB and Belton. So you're getting a chance to take on the top team in the West Division, but when you kind of look into, when you're playing against a team like that that's going to be hosting, what do you take into account as you get ready to take on that team?
Well, especially UMHB, all 3 can have some, or this coming weekend, are going to have some really big swings. UMHB, they are loaded in every position. So being aware that we're going to have to be on the defensive route, like paying attention to who's swinging where. And he does like to run a lot of switches, and he mixes up his offense. So we've just got to be prepared for that. But more so, just we focus a lot more on just us. Like, where can we score? What can we do to be more successful on the court? And we've been working on that for the past couple of weeks, just moving up and changing our offense a little bit and mixing it up a little bit more. I think you've seen it a little bit in our games where we have the opportunity. We're running something quick with Nat out of the middle, and it's been nice to really see her kind of take that and run with it. So that's something we've added just recently that's really been effective. And there's a lot of other things that we're going to work on this week that'll just really help us have the element of surprise, I guess, with our offense. And that's kind of our go-to. But all 3 teams are doing, have some big swings. Concordia, they're known for their middles. Their middles have always been very strong, and middle defense is something we've got to really focus on. So ideally, we would love to go 3-0 this weekend, but we're really pushing to make sure that we're in good standing so we can continue on and really focus on being ready for the conference tournament.
All right, Coach. Well, best of luck to you this week. 3 games as you look to continue your run to the conference tournament once again. Stick around, folks. We'll be back with our next head coach. You know who it is in a moment.